I couldn't have had a better pitcher. I mean, this was surreal.
That was Peter Alonso, who wasn't the only guy to make big news with the home run yesterday, by the way, in baseball. Pete Alonso winning the home run derby. 312 home runs hit in that. Like I said, I wanted to watch it. I was looking forward to it. Acuna beat Bell. I was looking forward to that matchup. See how Carlos Santana does in a hometown crowd. I was even happy that the rookies did win it. Because you get the $1 million prize and all that. And wait a minute, they're still making $550,000 a year. That is Major League Baseball minimum salary. But they're rookies, and it's also why guys like Mike Trout don't participate in this big thing. I mean, Santana, that was understood. He was a hometown hero. He had to. A guy like Josh Bell still isn't making a big bucks. He's having a great year. Yeah, let me showcase myself. A lot of these players were showcasing themselves, and they were saying, $1 million looks pretty good. What industry do you go into where you can say, $1 million, no thanks. That's quite the industry. Yeah. There you go. If only my mother had embraced sports a little bit more and all that sort of stuff. We're having people now pulling their kids out of school with that. Only $1 million, having them play travel baseball and such. It's done in hockey sometimes, and so it's done in sports, all sports. It's a bit disturbing. But no, he was not the only. It was Alonso, or for that matter, Guerrero, or even Acuna winning the first round. The only player did a home run yesterday. Actually, those weren't real home runs. They're just belting it out of the fence. It was batting practice. That's why the people try to say, it screws up your swing, poppycock. It's batting practice. Batting practice helps your swing. It does not. I just, the lack of knowledge. And you hear that. But here's the deal. Anybody know who Cody Decker is? I kind of doubt it. Cody Decker was the first baseman up until recently of the Reno Aces. The Reno Aces are the AAA affiliate of the San Diego Padres. And Decker has been he's been Crash Davis. All right? Career minor leaguer. He did play 8 games in the big leagues. That was 4 years ago. He won 0 for 11. He's been chasing, trying to get back in, but now, pigeonholed as the AAA ball player. And really, it got to the point when you're 32 and you've had 4 years ago and you're in AAA. Oh yeah, you're a good AAA ball player, but you're not, I mean, even calling you up to be a pinch hitter in September, that's a little bit... You're out there to be a playmate for I said Padres. He played for the Padres. The Reno Aces are a AAA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I apologize for that. So they're the Reno Aces, Diamondbacks affiliate. But Cody Decker is, and he's legitimate. You play 8 games in the majors, you're a legitimate major leaguer. He played with the Padres 4 years ago. Now, he had a home run late Friday night. I said yesterday it was the only ball player to not make news because, there are no major league games yesterday. It's the All-Star break. And so he had a walk-off home run for the Reno Aces on Friday. And just like in Bull Durham with Crash Davis, goes to Asheville, it's his dinger, becomes the minor league's all-time home run hitter in the movie, and then it's off to romance Annie Savoy. Decker is a real-life Crash Davis. He walks off, he hits his home run, 32 years old. He realizes, you know what, I'm probably not going to make the Diamondbacks. I mean, I'd like to think so, and I enjoy this, but I'm not making the majors, and it's time to step aside for a younger guy who might actually be, a major league player. And he says, that's how I'm going to go out. Game-winning, walk-off home run on Friday night. He's been playing the minors. Like I said, he was with the Padres. He has also been in the organizations of the Rockies, the Royals, the Red Sox, and the Mets. He even was a Mexican League player. He was picked up by the Diamondbacks last season. 13 different pro teams. But unlike Crash Davis, he goes off and rides into the sunset with not an aging Annie Savoy, no, but a woman that sports fans are going to be very, very familiar with. A woman that has been a professional sportscaster before. A woman who has made a lot of news. A woman who was discovered by an ABC camera at a Florida State football game by Brent Musburger. Before Brent Musburger recognizing an attractive woman in the stands became taboo somehow, which I never quite understood either. Cody Decker is Mr. Jen Sturger. Remember her? You know it? And here's the problem with him going off and becoming now a member of the private sector. I guess he was a member of the private sector before, but getting out of baseball. What's he going to do after this? Well, he's going to work for a nonprofit. Okay, that's fine. But then he and Jen Sturger, his wife, yeah, they got married. Jen Sturger, much to, well, should I say, much to the chagrin of Brett Favre. I think we know where I'm going there. That was kind of cheap, wasn't it? Yeah. They're going to do a radio show. Why are you messing in on my turf? Cody Decker and Jen Sturger, what did I ever do to you? I don't even own a pair of Crocs. You think I'm going to wear a pair of Crocs? Come on here, you know. No. Anyway. You tell... you hit one home run in a minor league game, and you have Babe of the Earth on your arm, and you think you can invade my turf? No. 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 It's ridiculous. Anyway. I'll get to the Appalachian League in our next segment because they're off today, as a matter of fact. One more story, and I guess it talks a little bit about the changes in baseball. And, this being the All-Star Game event, Bud Selig has even talked about, he's made his public appearances again, and he talks about baseball's need for a change in this soundbite.
One thing you have to learn once you're a commissioner of a sport, whatever you do, somebody's going to be mad. Just the way it is. So, all the changes were difficult, but beyond necessary. The sport hadn't really changed since the 20s or 30s, and that was painful. And we were paying a price for it.
Were you? I mean, the TV ratings were double what they were now before you became the commissioner. There was always change in baseball, but the beauty of it, you had divisional play. You had the cookie-cutter ballparks that brought back the stolen base. You did have more relief pitching and all that. But at some point, the change became, I'm not recognizing the sport anymore. When you introduced the wild card as it did, it really did devalue the regular season. And the exclusivity of the baseball playoffs instead became as long and drawn out. You've got as many rounds of baseball playoffs now as you do hockey. It used to be baseball looked down at hockey and said, we're superior. We've got a real champion. Why is the 16th best team in your league out of 21, if you're fortunate enough to get the standings to fall that way, playing for a Stanley Cup? That's ridiculous. And by the way, that final seed, hey, look at the Predators got the last seed in the playoffs 2 years ago, and they played for the Cup. So, yeah, the idea here that bothers me about Bud Selig is that he talks about baseball needed change, but he never explains why, because baseball was always the sport where he said, it's basically the same game it was in the 19th century, which may or may not be true, but you can't say that anymore, and it's not said anymore. And even people who, like Selig, love change, like Keith Olbermann, would champion baseball and say, baseball hasn't changed. It's the perfect sport, and all the. Why are you putting the mustache on the Mona Lisa? I'll have some more quotes like that coming up, but I do want to talk a little bit about the Appalachian League. We are at the All-Star game. They're off today. I'm going to tell you who the leaders are, the big prospects, all that when we come back. Tri-City Sports Now.
The Unicoi County Prevention